about your challenges that you face to be who you are today, to achieve what you are today. Ý giảng chủ đúng không? Không tao. Phun đó à. Thì mà giang hồ thì tổ số giang hồ đấy giảng什麼你可以啊，有一有主意啊。你這個你看唔到啦，咪有就有發啦，你可以啊，ก็有啊，โทรไม่รู้ว่าญาณจริงนะโทรไม่รู้ว่ามาบอกว่ามาเปียเนี่ยเข้ารู้ว่าญาณจริงนะยังไม่ยุ่งอย่างนั้นเลยยุ่งอย่างมาน้องบัวดูว่าน้องโทษดูว่าน้องเสี่ยวโทษดูว่าดร.Somnit Lee come on Som come up เป็นไงไปแล้วผมผู้ชมนี่ล่ะ first Saelee doctor in our family in our clan come on up here man okay right 那ใช่ดูว่าตุ้งเจ๊ก็นี่กันเนี่ยไอเดียฟ้าหล่ะผมบอกอีบัวดูว่าอย่างจุ่มคอมเมดี้ก็โอ้ดูว่าเป็นน้องคอยน้องแฟรปอยู่นี่มาเป็นว่าลงเงี้ยอยู่ดูว่า good example for our กันเต้าบุญเยกว่าฟุนไฟนี้บุญเยฝึกช่วยไฟนี้เนาะนี่เป็นเตนี่ว่า on เที่ยวไฟโซเตว่าขนาดวันนี้ว่า testimony encourage บุบีจุ่มอยู่เขาอ่ะนั้นจะก็นี่ไอเดียนะนี่บุการนี่ plan ในไอเดียอ๋อเห็นในฝาแต่กล้องเตดูว่าเวทีตู้ดูว่าตัวโซเนี่ยเจ้าถอดตู้ซิปเนี่ยจุกวางจุกเข้าไปเจ้าถ่ายจัดดีพอยนั่นอยู่อ่ะไป take it over
hello what's up Mien people do we have Mien people in the house we have Mien people in the house okay you got my boy family okay you all more now you go on come you now okay you got our more family you got Mien in the house okay you now okay Mien people in the house Mien people in the house Hmong people in the house Hmong people in the house okay so you know you guys should be all screaming that you're Hmong you know that right you guys know that right so when I was a kid I grew up and man Hmong people were so much better than us they were much better than us in sports we go out to the sports fields you know our Mien adults we play against the Hmong people whether it's takal, soccer, volleyball, we all get beat all the time. And all the adult Mien people will come back home and say, man, just die just a meal. Just die for a meal. Man, you know, so when I was a kid, man, Hmong people were just killing us, okay? And then they're also better than us in academics, right? In the 80s and 90s, a lot of Hmong people are in the professional fields like medicine, law, engineering. Our Mien people are way behind. So not only were they better than us in sports, they were better than us in like education. Thirdly, they also had representation in the Western world, right? So they were more, they had representation in U.S. government, right? They had politicians. They were also represented in like Hollywood, and they have actors in Hollywood, right? So as a Mien kid, you kind of feel like the redheaded stepchild. No one cares about, right? So I kind of felt like, man, when I was a Mien kid, I was like, man, those Hmong people, I envy them. I like despise them. And then one day I met Uncle Yo Guang, right? And he was telling me, you know, your great grandpa was actually half Hmong, all right? So she is half Hmong. So we're actually all Hmong people too. So part of us is Hmong, okay? So, we not that far. You're not all right. That's right? We're not okay. So Fusil Ta, right, was half Hmong. Okay, what's YouTube with a half Hmong? That's why we're having the Hmong dancers provide the dancer for us to share that part of our culture with us because we are part Hmong. Okay, so just know that. Okay, so Fusil Ta had some children. Okay, next slide. Saelee family, we unify. Saelee, we unify. Got Yam Nai O here, Yam Nai O, human wife. Yam Nai O. You guys weak, you guys want to award things, you know, you guys weak. Okay, next group. Fei family, we unify. Right, okay, next family. Ting family, unify. That's right. Pink power, right? Next family. Jim Hin. Okay, next family. Mong Xiao Saelee family. Mong Xiao Mai Fa. Okay, next family. Jim Zhou, blue team. All right, Jim Zhou family. Good. Next family. Okay, they not pass away. Jim Wa Mai Fa. Jim Ma. Okay, Jim Wa Mai. How about Teng Xiu, Lai Xiu? Any of those families here representing? Masa. Okay, next slide. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is the village, right? The village. What is the village? So when I was a kid, I never grew up in this type of village. I never lived in the old era, right? But I can imagine from talking to all my parents and also the stories that they share that I can imagine that it's probably something like this. We live up in the mountains, there's a lot of straw huts everywhere, and it's hot year round. It's either hot or hotter, right? But there's no four season, okay? So it was a hard life, right? So next slide. So as kids, you grew up, you had no iPads and computers and all that kind of stuff, right? No toys. So you can tell by this picture that they're imagining playing, right? Next slide. So these kids, they have no toys, so what do? They get bamboo sticks and stones from their village and they'll play imaginary games. But you know what? They're having fun, right? Kids today, they're playing with technology and so forth. Very different lifestyle. Next slide. So as a kid growing up in this era, right, in this time period, you had one goal in life: grow up and make a lot of kids, and your job was to be a farmer, right? And in order to survive, you have to have a lot of children, because those children will eventually die off because of illness and sickness. But you also need a lot of hands, right, in the farms in order to survive. You needed to harvest, cultivate and harvest the crops and rice, but also to raise the pigs and chickens. But so your job in life was to have, as a man, get married, have a lot of kids, become a farmer, okay? Success is measured by how many wives you had, right? So you had many wives who were pretty successful. Next slide. So in our culture, because we share the same standard of life, we share the same kind of a belief and so there's a sense of collective effort between the group to ensure the group's survival, right? So that means that the group has to depend on one another. So they tend to live close together, right? They tend to, because of that, there's a sense of camaraderie between the groups, right? And there's also a sense of community, sense of unity, and then a sense of love. And that is why in the Mien community, especially the older generation, relatives are so close. First, second, third degree relatives are pretty close, and even people from different generations are all pretty close and they know each other. Okay, next slide. So this is a family that arrived. So I do want to tell you, some of the photos I put up here are the photos that I found on Facebook of your families. So I want to illustrate something. So here's a family who came to the US, ended up in a refugee camp, something like this. Next slide. And some of these kids grew up as well. So these are the refugee camp kids, right? Pretty cute kids. You guys probably know who they are, right? Pretty cute kids. You can tell they're pretty innocent, and they look pretty happy there. Next slide. And as they grew up in these refugee camps, you can tell, despite the hardship, you can tell from the background, despite the hardship, they look pretty happy, they're pretty innocent, despite all the difficulties around them. Next slide. And so some of these kids grew up. They were pretty happy, they're innocent. They grew up, but you see these young men. What were they thinking at that time, I wonder? You were raised in the old land, you say, hey, I was gonna be a farmer. But now you're in a refugee camp and thinking, man, what is my life gonna be like? There's uncertainty with my life. You can tell they seem pretty, they're not smiling, so obviously there's a lot of anxiety there. Okay, next slide. So what happens? We get to the United States after the fall of the communist Laos regime, right? So we come here as groups of family to different cities like Seattle, Sacramento, like the Bay Area, and also smaller towns like Reading and Merced and so forth, right? So we end up in the poor areas of the urban cities, right? Because we don't have much, so we have to generally live in the kind of poor areas like the ghettos or the rural areas. Okay, next slide. So our parents end up here, and they end up here, and they bring along all their family. Next slide. And so we come together, and we live in this world that's so brand new. There's like tall buildings everywhere, concrete, cars everywhere. There's all this technology like television and radio, and it's just amazing, right? You come from the farm and you come experience this new kind of life. It's just like wow. And so there's a big change here. Okay, so next slide. So I'm one of these kids who grew up in this generation. Okay, who grew up in this world, and you can see this little boy has a Mien hat on. And the little kids have some Western clothes on, okay? Next slide. So what I want to talk about is, I want to talk about my village. So this is the village that I grew up in. So my parents grew up in the old village, you know, way in the boonies, but I grew up in the kind of urban village. And I grew up in places like this. Some of you guys probably know where this is, because some of you guys live with me here. Okay, this is a picture of Seattle. Next slide. And this slide. Some of you guys live with me in this lot. We have lived here as well. This is in Oak Park. This is on Y Street. You know what I'm talking about, right? So I lived in this community, okay? Next slide. And then one of the biggest villages I lived was here, West Sacramento, California. The Evergreen Apartments, which many of you guys live with me. So on my Facebook page, people wonder, why you call yourself West Sacramento? Because West Sacramento has a very sentimental memory for me, and it was a cool experience. So Evergreen Apartment was kind of like a village if you think about it. It was all mainly Asians, mostly Mien people. Probably about 70-80% of people were Mien people. So we spoke Mien only, and we all kind of had a common goal as kids. We had no idea what we were going to do, but we all had the same struggle, right? We had the same struggle. We were all poor. We didn't know what we wanted to do, but we wanted to have a better life in the future. So we had all the shared belief, same standard of life, okay? What was cool about the Evergreen Apartment was that it was kind of like this. People knew each other, and people, I think in general, depended on one another because of, you know, what was outside of them. And there was a lot of things that we did here as kids as well. We didn't have technology, we were pretty poor. We played games like the cards. I don't know if you guys done that before. Take a sandal, you put some baseball, football cards about 15 feet away. You take a sandal, you throw it like a boomerang, and you try to knock the cards out, and then you try to take the other person's card. We also played a game called Zhong Quarters. You guys play that game? Zhong Quarters, you know? So we would bet quarters, and then what we do is put a hole at about 10-15 feet away. We try to throw the quarters in the hole to try to win money.
Yeah, I remember you never won.
I never won. I sucked. But what was good about this community, it was we had people like Uncle San Kwang. They were like they had like a dessert restaurant. We go to their apartment and we buy like ice cream cones and otter pops and klang fin and stuff like that. So we we were too poor, so we had to go to San Kwang's home. We also went to this Lao lady who made papaya salad. My mom actually made like noodle and sold like for $1, $2 bowl. And then we had our own casino. We don't have all these fancy casino out here where you guys are going now. We actually, at our apartments, there was always someone gambling, playing 21 or playing that club, right? The club, I don't know how to say club, okay? So we had restaurants in their very apartment. We had a casino, mini casinos there, right? And in the summertime, we had like Kambang, Black Rain, go to the apartments that they were playing in summer jam, right? So it felt like a community because we were so close. We were so close, okay? So next one. So some of those individuals who helped to solidify our community, who are very respectful leaders who actually passed away, but I want to pay some important respect to these individuals, okay? One son was one of them, okay? One son was a very respectful person, someone I respect now that I think back, because he was just an important figure in the community, and he was also someone who was trying to put people together, okay? One son. He's the one that represents the blue team, okay? Blue team. Next slide. The second person I want to talk about is Jimmy. Jimmy was also a critical role in our community as well. He was one of those guys who was just really soft-spoken, and he was also one of those guys who wanted to bring people together. So Jimmy represented, which one? White. Jimmy represents white, so I want to pay some respect to Jimmy, okay? The next person is Wuntun. Even though Wuntun is not blood related to Buangpa, I think for him that he's family, okay? And he was always one of those guys who brought people together, and especially in the Bunya community. So I want to pay special respect to the community leader, okay? Because they embody the spirit of the village, okay? Embody the spirit of the village, okay? Next one. So Mien, we're very close because we have that village spirit. We still share stories. We sit on Friday, Saturday nights, and we have all our family together. We tell story like last night when Boo was telling a story. I was like, this guy is amazing. He can share like amazing stories. And so that's one thing I notice when I come back to the Mien community. It's been so long that when I come back, I notice that. I think it's amazing. Next one. So just another picture of the things we do together as family. Okay? Next slide. So we come to the United States, okay? We come to the United States. We experience a lot of different things. One of the things that I think is important in Bunya family is music. The influence of music, American music, into Bunyewa background has spawned a generation of musicians. Okay, so that's my brother playing the bass and my dad's playing the guitar. Okay, next one. So there's several musicians in Bunya family. Okay, so my father is one of them. Next one. Mantong, you guys know Mantong, right? She was one of the first singers. Okay, Mantong. Next slide. Makeway. So Makeway is one of our first singers as well. Sia ton nin ton se pe. Remember that song? That's them, okay? Okay, next one. And you know this group, right? Very popular Mien band in the United States, okay? Next one. This band as well, very popular band in the Bunya community, okay? Next one. You know these two, Uncle Patrick? Him and Uncle Jovi actually formed a band in Lean back in the 80s, okay? You guys don't know. And then Yao Fo on the top left corner, okay? Next one. And then most recently, Ma Tong, right? She's been singing in your community, right? So we have had a lot of musicians in our family. So the influence of American culture has instilled this into us, okay? Besides music, the next one. We have been able to go to new different places. Right? Places we never been before, right? We go to a place like, it looks like the Grand Canyon, right? And you can tell like these guys, it looks like it's a pretty amazing experience. Never we have thought back in the homeland we can go there. Next slide. See, so we can go to places like South America. Who we think we could go to South America, right? New experiences, I've never been to it, right? So there are some cool places that we go. Next slide. And so you can see this family here. They seem pretty happy. So besides going to new places, there's a certain lifestyle that changes. You can tell. You compare this from previous. This family is pretty laid back, right? They're in this island setting. They're happy. Who would have thought that back in the homeland you get to live in a place or stay in a place like this, right? That's the blue team over there. I just met them today. Okay, next one. And besides that, we get to enjoy sports. Right? So you can tell by these guys, right? They enjoy golf. And then their little boy right there, he's got the Seattle Seahawks, right? Seattle Seahawks, yeah, football. Go Hawks. Go Hawks, right? And you can you see a San Francisco Giant hat there as well. So we're experiencing different types of sports.
Who's that guy up there?
Yeah, handsome guy, yeah. Next one. And we're also doing things like being able to climb mountains and so forth, right? Things we can never do back in the homeland. Next slide. And we can also experience life in different ways that we never experienced back in the homeland. Celebrating birthdays, where we never did that back in the homeland. Not like this, okay? And this is one of our grandmas who's, obviously appreciating her life with all her grandchildren around her. Next slide. And we also get to go to new cool places as well. We get to go to the Super Bowl. Seattle Seahawks! Go Hawks! I gotta put that in. All you Niners fans, I gotta put that in. All right, so we get to go to cool places and experience new things in life here. Okay, next slide.
Yeah, change it. Yeah, thank you.
So the thing is, because we get to experience new things, because the standard of life changes for us here in this country, we get to dream new things. So this little boy is one of my nephews from Seattle, and he might be the next Russell Wilson. Next slide. This girl might be the next doctor. Next slide. This girl might be the next ballerina or professional actress. Next slide. This boy might be the next policeman. Okay? Next slide. This boy might be our next musician. Who knows? Yeah, so he might be a professional musician. So the reason why I want to tell you this is because when you go from old country, when you just have one role in life, to be a farmer, when that standard of life is the same, when there's no differences, right, in what you experience from someone else, you can't explore the different possibilities. But here in the US, you can do so. Next slide. And so when we come here, we are able to do things that I think it changes because we perceive what's good is considered standard life. Sometimes we have to achieve different goals. And so this young gal graduated from high school, I think recently. You guys know her. Next slide. And one of our own graduated from the University of California, Davis, Anastasia. She here? So want to give applause, Anastasia, good. She just graduated from Asian Studies. And next slide. And we had another university graduate. Are you here? So I want to tell you guys, I'm very proud of you guys for achieving a success. Okay. So next one. And besides getting education, being successful in education, we're making change in the community. So Uncle Jovi won an award for his outstanding achievement in I think King County, Pierce County. So I want to give some recognition to Uncle Jovi as well. Next slide. So here's the thing. Your standard of life changes when you come to the United States. We all have different perception of what is good standard of life. When we don't depend on each other anymore, when we have different dreams, goals, values, what usually happens is we start to move away. We start moving away from the village. And we start moving away from that village spirit, right? The whole concept of us being close, knowing everyone, working together for a common goal. That's one thing that I think will happen to Hmong, my generation, and those younger than me. We will tend to drift away, and that's a normal process. And the other thing is we tend to marry out. So this is my brother. He's married to a Korean wife, and so part of that culture where we're very close is likely going to be fragmented through the generations. Next slide. So what generally happens is that within the next generation or two, there'll probably be another Asian face, okay? And next slide. So what I want to get back to you guys is that the reason why we're having this event today, okay, is to help us bring back that village spirit, right? That village spirit, the sense of community, the sense of love for one another, the sense of cooperation between all of us for one goal. So all the games that we play today, okay, is to help celebrate that village spirit. Even though it might just be for today, this is our moment to give thanks to not only our elders, but also to appreciate where we came from. So this is my Seattle family, okay? Go Hawks. Next one.
Go home.
Next one. So, for those of you who came here, who lived in the old village, I hope that today we can kind of celebrate that village spirit and give you guys remind you guys of that nostalgia that you guys had in the past. For those of you guys who used to live in the village like myself, I hope that these games and the food that we share, the music that we listen to, the Hmong dances that we have will also bring a sense of the village spirit. And for the young people like my son who doesn't know anything about Mien, I hope that I hope that he'll understand why his dad feels that having that village spirit is so important. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Miền mùa tuổi你讲正话参见呐，对吧？不管款น快ฝั่ง呐，对吧？น้องโชว์ยิ่งโทษว่าแต่ยิ่งคล้องยิ่งเบ่งแต่ไหนโทษว่าวันเซ็งเนี่ยปอวันเซ็ง come on up come on big hand มุดไปบนวันเซ็งทุกวันเซ็งยามอ๋อบนวันเซ็งยามชายเนี่ย can somebody get her Sumit's mom because 以前讲Sumit你的话วันเซ็ง come here 等等以前讲你的话你的话呢但叫你讲真话呢对吧你讲真话呢เป็นใจปวดบุยจุ้งน่ะเหมือนซ้ำยังป่ะจนบ้านผมต้องอยู่เหี้ยวล้านออนล้านอาตวันเจียวยามบัวยาบุยสาวเจนบัวมันสุดล้านเทงล้านเป็นห้างยีน้อมหลังสีดำบุยยางสุดตะปุ้งบุยน้ำล้านบุยโจชื่อจ่องแค่โจลำจอยเทงอ่ะอีปอจนบ้าบัวดูว่าน่ายังใจก้องตายดูว่าเทงข้าตองป่ะบัวจูบัวปอยตาตู้ให้ยุ่งน่ะบัวรอลำจอยเต้งเจนอันเฮ้จะยังซะบัวหอบจุดห้องนอนอยู่ลำจอยเทงเจนพอเขาลำจอยเทงเจนเขาเทงเจนเขาเรียน唔把伊nói được à我生nhám à我生nhám nhở OK 要不如啊中法的时讲ไม่วันเซ็งนี่ปอไม่วันเซ็งยามนะอีน้อยบัวไม่ดรสมิธลีวันนี้ว่าผมบัวหิวทางนอนอยู่ว่าเนี่ยบ่าบัวจู่จังเจนนี่ก็ยังว่าเสียอ่อนบัวเนาะบัวล้านเทงล้านเต็งล้านกูนี่ดูว่าเป็นดีไซน์เป็นด็อกเตอร์บาดยันเฮยันเทียนสันนัดเทียนอยู่นี่เทียนนี่จุ้มยิ้มสุกองหรอยิ้มยันสีเนี่ยเจ้ายิ้มเทียนอยู่นี่จุ้มเยโซนี่แรงเทียนโซเนี่ยเจ้าบัวอย่าจุ้มมาเทียนอยู่เหี้ยวอยู่ว่าล้านเทียนล้านเต็งล้านอันเฮปล่อยว่าตาตู้ยังบัวเทียนเจนอันเฮอยู่ว่าบัวมันอยู่เหี้ยวอยู่ว่าโอเคไม่
แรงจริงถึงเมื่อดว่ายังไม่ต้องมังกีทำไม่ยังเจียเมื่อแต่เป็นดว่าบิ๊กอังกูเนี่ยเยี่ยก้องเนาะเยี่ยแรงจริงบัวฝุ่นฟ้าบัวนิวเจเนเรชั่นต้องเหยาปานบัวชดแกงไก่ป่าก้องเท้าฮัตเต่าหูโซลังน่ะเยี่ยมอ่อยเยี่ยหิ้วตัวก้อมบัวเท้าจังหัวบัวฝุ่นฟ้าจับเหนื่อยฟิงอยู่ตอนน้องบัวเท้าจังหัวบัวจุ่มทำต่อยฮัตเต่าแกงดอกหายป่ามุมทำต่อยน้องบัวเย็นจุ่มตูมใส่เขาบัวกำหิ้วตัวบัวเยี่ยเหล่งเจ้าเจ้านี่กู้แค่ดอกว่าบัวโลเลเมียนđó lấy dầu thùng đó nhưng mà con sao mà lẹn chim của phun phá này tê phê nhàn đâu có chiều lô chắn mua kinh với li work với li hot em thảo cái yên tao yêu này yêu với giờ Washington State và tiền hoa bố mặn bố con đâu có hộp cho liệu lẹn chim giờ chúng mình mua hát tao in hoa mua tài liệu mua quảng cái trang hồ tài liệu mua đốt nhàn và tiền hoa mua tút chia run dưa đó là original พวงกินบัวเหลืองบัวตัวห้ามกูแซมเนาะยี่ใจเฟซช่วยอย่างนะให้กูยืนอยู่โย่โอเคพอผมมายืนอยู่เดี๋ยวให้ช่วงลงดิ่งfirst happy healthy หรือที่แต่my honey หรือ Mary หรือที่แต่ my money number 5โอเคพอบัวยุ่นในจอน่ะถ้ากูแซมน้องบัวโอ้ไว้แรงจริงซ้ำนั่นน่ะเยี่ยโทษนะว่าหยอดชงได้เยี่ยคัดเต็มกับยี่โปรแกรมเยี่ยโทษหยอดชงไม่ฝาตะเปล่าอีสิสุงเสียตังไปมาเจ้าเจียนเยี่ยคัดในยี่โปรแกรมในเยี่ยโทษอินไว้หยอดชงฝาตะเปล่าอีสิสุงบัวฟิงเลยตอนฟิงต่างฟิงเจียวยาฟิงเปลี่ยนเช้าฟิงเลยเหยียดจุ้งเปลี่ยนหงส์ฝุ่นฟ้าต่างๆโอเคบัวเมียนน่ะฟันชิวฮิสตอรี่ดอกบัวทำต่อยทั้งชิวฮิสตอรี่ดอกบัวทำต่อยมาอย่างทำหนูหาย